Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this award seminary. This is the sixth edition of the Expanded Razón Awards. I would like to thank all the participants for being here today, as well as the people who are following us via streaming. Here with us, we have Cardinal Luis Francisco Ladaria Ferrer, who is presiding over the ceremony, Father Federico Lombardi, President of the Vatican Foundation Joseph Ratzinger-Benedicto XVI, and Daniel Sala, Rector of the University Francisco de Vitoria in Madrid, as well as the awardees. I'd like to give the floor first and foremost to Cardinal Ladaria.
They told me I can speak Spanish, and I will do. So, good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank the Vatican Foundation Joseph Ratzinger and the University Francisco de Vitoria for inviting me to this Expanded Reason Awards. The purpose that inspires this award is formulating in the note that the Vatican Foundation establishes as the meaning of the expanded reason. And this is what it says. The concept of reason must expand to be able to comprehend and explore aspects that go beyond empirical reality and to achieve harmonious synthesis of knowledge that integrates theology and philosophy. Fundamental questions of humanity, like life and death, cannot be excluded from the realm of rationality. This concern is highlighted in the awarded works today, both in the research category, ricerca, and in the teaching category, docencia, two aspects that in their fundamental distinction are called to meet and harmonize in the university. Now, just a quick mention of the content of the publications and the programs that are awarded today. Well, researchers and teachers approach these problems in different categories. In the research category, Professor Anna Rowland studies the principles of the tradition underlying the social doctrine of the Church, and it opens the path to useful indications to solve the challenges and social political challenges of the moment. This study does not limit itself to magisterial teachings, but engages in dialogue with other Catholic and non-Catholic thinkers. They told me that the professor is member of the synod and that she had to ask for special permission to be here tonight. So thank you for being here. Then the second work by Professor Simon Maria Kopf, published by Oxford University Press, explores the theology of providence and divine action in St. Thomas Aquinas. The proposal is to reshape this in terms of the virtue of prudence. And the author points out the inadequacy of a competitive scheme of divine and human casuality. And this also says that providence shouldn't be limited, but rather seen as a way to subjectivity. Now, the research category, instead, we have Professor Serrano and Professor Diaz de Lopez Diaz of the University of Francisco de Vitoria in Madrid, and they present a School of University Leadership. The professors then Tanzela Niti and Oliva have presented a platform that collects over 1,000 pages written by more than 30 authors that collects material on the presence, history, philosophy, and religion. These pages are intended for students between the age of 14 and 16. That is the age when students really they form their conception of the world and of life, which may align with or oppose the teachings of major religious and philosophical traditions. The diversity of perspectives and of addressed topics testifies that we are dealing with a reason that expands towards the world, towards mankind, and towards God. And then a special honorable mention has been awarded to Elizabeth Newman and her book, Divine Abundance. This would be an alternative way of seeing things. The being is not neutral. The being is always something that works in communion with God. And this is inspired in the sentence of Saint Augustine at the beginning of his Confessions, where it says that our heart will be restless until we will finally rest in peace. And this is the first time that the prize is awarded after Benedict the 16th have been called to the house of our Almighty Father. In my wish, may his spirit be kept alive by this association and by all of the institutions like ours and the academic world, with all the professors that are aligned with the restlessness and wish that gave birth to this initiative to many more years.
Now, I'd like to give the floor to Father Federico Lombardi, President of the Vatican Foundation Joseph Ratzinger-Benedicto XVI. Eminence, Excellencies, academic authorities, esteemed ODs, dear friends of the University Francisco de Vitoria and the Ratzinger Foundation. First of all, welcome to this award ceremony, to this celebration, because this is really a celebration. We are now celebrating the 6th edition of the Expanded Reason Award. It's a great achievement. When, together with the University Francisco de Vitoria, we started this initiative 7 years ago, we had a very clear idea, or a very clear view of the idea that inspires it, namely the idea of an expanded reason, which Joseph Ratzinger, Benedict XVI, addressed many times in his speeches. However, I must say that at least on my part, I couldn't see clearly what results we could achieve concretely with this endeavor that we were about to embark on. I have to say that we have achieved and we are still achieving great results, which go way beyond what I was expecting. Undoubtedly, the merit largely goes to the University Francisco de Vitoria and the commitment of its academic authorities and other people who work at the university and who have devoted themselves to the university world with intelligence and generosity. We didn't just have to promote the prize, the award, or publicize it, if you will, so that we could receive many valuable applications from many universities and academic institutions. We also had to carry out an in-depth analysis of the papers that we received in a selection process that involves many disciplines, many diverse disciplines and fields of investigation. This wouldn't have been possible without the participation and the commitment of the teaching staff of the university, everyone was very willing to offer their heartfelt service. As member and co-president of the jury, in each edition of the award, I've spent several days studying the dozens of papers that have been selected as finalists. And I was really able to realize the impressive work of collection, classification, and pre-selection that had been carried out before our final meeting to decide the awardees. I am extremely grateful to all those who have participated throughout the years, many of whom are here today. I cannot name them all individually or one by one, but I do express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of them. In each edition of the award, we have received dozens and dozens of, even more than 100 papers, research papers, drafted by scholars and academics that work at different academic institutions in several different countries. A really impressive work of collection. This has allowed us to always award uh, valuable works and papers. We can say without fear that the Expanded Reason Award has proven to be an award with a very high scientific quality. But I'd like to make a few remarks, if you allow me, considering the experience of these 6 editions. First, the fields of study and investigation wherein the expanded reason is put into practice are many and diverse. There are many disciplines that we could include, meaning theology, philosophy, human sciences, natural sciences, communication, fine arts. In this respect, we could wonder uh, whether it wouldn't be better to specify the field in each edition, but we did not want to do it. We don't want to do this. Obviously, the work of the selectors and the jury has been and is very difficult, very hard, but it also conveyed a very significant message. Throughout the years, we have seen how philosophy and theology enter into dialogue with maths, cosmology, biology, uh, studies of evolution and life, neurosciences, social sciences, economics, communication and computer sciences, and many more. Ultimately, there is no field of human knowledge that cannot, or as Ratzinger would say, shouldn't open to a wider horizon, seeking for meaning, the meaning of existence, the meaning of life, the meaning of history, the meaning of creation. This is what, in the end, the Expanded Reason Award tells us. Secondly, since the beginning, we have decided to divide this award into 2 categories or sections: investigation and teaching. We were never short of applications. In fact, we received many high quality applications for the investigation category. In general, the applications for the teaching section or category were fewer and not as satisfactory as to be deserving of an award. However, we decided to keep following this path. The purpose of the award is to involve and promote teaching programs and experiences that could teach people how to exercise this expanded reason from university and at school as well. Too often, the different disciplines are stay somewhat closed off, and there are experts in those disciplines that have a very wide knowledge in one field, but this knowledge is somewhat limited and incapable of widening, of broadening its horizon. The vocation of the university towards the exercise of the expanded reason and the has been reiterated and outlined many times or several times by Joseph Ratzinger. The University Francisco de Vitoria is fully aware of this, and our foundation shares this perspective. That is why we are extremely pleased to award this year two very high-level teaching programs. And I think it's right that one of these program has a very as an exceptional value. I'm referring to the Becas Europa Europe Fellowships program, developed by the University Francisco de Vitoria throughout several years. So we will keep addressing the topic of expanded reason, and we are going to promote the training of young generations so that they can use reason with this spirit and in this spirit and with these perspectives. And finally, one last remark. As we already did with the first two editions of the award, which we celebrated not far from here at the Pontifical Academy of Sciences, this year we decided to come back to Rome for this award ceremony. We made this choice because we wanted to give the participants the wonderful opportunity to attend an audience with the Pope and reiterate the role of our Vatican Foundation as co-promoter of the award. But we also want to encourage the participation in the award by Rome-based academic institutions that have been growing throughout the years, and one of the teaching program that we are going to award this year comes from precisely from one of these academic institutions. So we are very happy, we're very pleased that these institutions are well represented in this case, and I'd like to thank the academic authorities for their commitment. After a great success in English and Spanish speaking areas, the Expanded Reason Award is becoming increasingly universal. So may it continue for a long time. May its message be increasingly embraced. May the community of awardees keep growing. This will be the result of the productive and lasting legacy that Joseph Ratzinger-Benedicto XVI left us. Thank you. Now, I'd like to give the floor to Daniel Sada, Rector of the University Francisco de Vitoria.
Eminency, Rector, Father Lombardi, professors, friends. I just wanted to start commenting on these words. Thank you, Eminence, for being here. Thank you for accepting our invitation, and thank you for being here today. You are the person who was here during the inception of these award some years ago, and we are here today all together to participate in the 6th edition of this awards. This started when the Joseph Ratzinger Foundation and the University of La Vitoria started cooperating in 2005. In 2015, on the occasion of the 500th anniversary of the birth of Saint Teresa of Avila. Back then, Joseph Ratzinger, Benedict 2016, wanted to found this foundation. And in order for us to carry out his legacy, we were thinking about what to do to really push forward his thought and his legacy. And we came up with this initiative, that of trying to go beyond the fragmentation of knowledge, something that is widespread in this modern world. This is a big challenge for all of us, and it was a big challenge for him to overcome as well. The main part of this award was, for us, that of broadening the horizons of reason and enlarging and expanding reason itself. And this is exactly what we are trying to do, to solve the problem that is attracting less people to the university world. Universities are institutions that accompany people, and they are there to help people reach people, reach people in the farthest places, in the peripheries of the world, as the Pope told us. And they need to be offering science that comes from a fertile dialogue between special sciences, philosophy, and theology. All societies have a cooperation with universities, and universities have a debt with our society. Societies have to feel their connection with universities, and they have to feel the need to help society as a whole, especially, most of all, Catholic universities. Catholic universities, in the face of this new evangelization, need to feel this call to evangelization of culture and knowledge and thought. This mission is not that of ranking first or on top of other university, but rather aligning our mission with the mission God gave us. Joseph Ratzinger-Benedict XVI told us where to look for the answer. Universities, our universities, have an important role, but they will play out their role only if they know what their top priority is, and that is that of pushing forward reason in a specific way. The Pope told us the reason has to be pushed forward in an open and accepting way. This is why the mission of this award couldn't be more topical and more current. This is not something that can be reduced to a biannual event, but rather it has to be entrusted to a network of professors and researchers that can keep on building this huge cathedral of knowledge that we want to prepare for the world to inhabit, based on a Christian vision, on a Christian thought. This is based on the model of world and the model of man that Jesus gave us. And as Benedict XVI told us in 2008 in a speech he never pronounced at the Sapienza University, he said, if the voice and the ears of people turn deaf to the message coming from the Christian world, if our ears become dry, they will become as dry as a tree, forgotten by rain, forgotten by the sky, and this will bear no fruit. And if we apply this to our European culture, it translates to reason cannot be built on itself alone, on its own argumentations, on its own fads of the moment. You don't do that, because if you do so, you will get astray and you will be removed from your roots. You will rot. You will be fragmented. Now, let me finish by thanking some of the people who have been helping us in this quest. This is a very big network. All of the people who make it so that the Expanded Reason Awards are here. The Ratzinger Foundation and the Commission. Thank you, Father Lombardi and Mr. Alzaro. Thank you for your help and your commitment. Thank you for working here, and thank you for having been with us for 6 initiatives. This is an initiative based on the intellectual leadership of our beloved Father, former Pope Francis, and Pope Ratzinger Joseph XVI. Let me thank the jury where myself and Father Lombardi are part of it, but there are other scientists and researchers. For example, Professor Stefano Zamagni from the University of Bologna, the rector of the San Damaso University, Dr. Javier Prades. Then we have Dr. Marta Bertolaso and Professor Rafael Vicuña from the Catholic University of Chile. Thank you, jury and jurors, for being here year after year. Thank you for reading thoroughly all of the works and projects that are presented. Thank you for evaluating them and for considering them under our light. We know that many people who participate should be winning the awards, not only one, but let me also thank the professors who have cooperated in the first phases of evaluation and revision of the works during our first encounters with the Expanded Reason Institute here in Rome. Let me conclude, of course, with a big round of congratulations for all of the people who will be awarded today. This is a great work that you've carried out and a great award that you will be receiving today. It is great responsibility for all of you to receive this award. May you be light and guidance for everybody else so that they can research, investigate, study, and teach better knowledge for expanded reason in the world. Thank you.
And now I'm going to introduce the awardees. I'm going to mention each and every one of them. I'll give you a quick introduction, a presentation, although they have huge curricula. And after each presentation, if you can please come here to say a few words. First of all, Professor Anna Rowlands, who is associated professor at the theology department at Durham University. She is a theologist and works at the focuses on theology. Anna Rowlands focuses on ethics, common good, the theory of democracy, and also social philosophies of three thinkers of the 20th century that enter into relation with the religious thinking: Simone Weil, Anna Arendt, and Gillian Rose. She has been working also with the Romantic Dicastery and the Synod of the Bishops. Su Eminencia, Padre Lombardi, rector, representantes de las instituciones académicas, quiero expresar mi más sentido agradecimiento a todos los organizadores de este premio. Es un honor realmente para mí recibir un premio que se centra, como sabemos, en la razón abierta y que nos inspira y que ha sido inspirado por el Pontífice Benedicto Benedicto XVI. Quiero agradecer también a la Universidad Francisco de Vitoria y todos los miembros de la Fundación Ratzinger, la Fundación Vaticana. Quiero agradecer también a mi familia, que me han apoyado durante todos los años. Mis padres han alimentado mi amor hacia el conocimiento y el aprendizaje. Estoy muy agradecida a Gabriel, Tom, Jason por su amor, su paciencia y su dedicación. Nosotros nos apoyamos mutuamente y es el amor, y es precisamente del amor que aprendemos más. Am, hablamos, eh, hablamos del amor y decimos que hay que huir un poco de los tumultos de nuestros pensamientos. Hay que dejar las inquietudes, hay que abandonarse a Dios y hay que apoyarse en Dios. Hay que olvidar todo lo malo y buscar a Dios en lo diario. Hay que buscarle, hay que hablar con Él, con nuestro corazón, hablarle a Dios. Hay que buscar a Dios para que nos ayude, para que enseñe a nuestro corazón cómo buscar. Es una búsqueda importante para entender nuestra existencia, nuestra vida. Este es el punto de partida de ambos, fe y razón, de ambas, fe y razón. No podemos olvidar esta dimensión de contemplación, no podemos olvidar esta búsqueda. No debemos olvidar nuestra capacidad de estar unidos para fomentar el conocimiento y por supuesto no debemos olvidar la enseñanza social. El Papa Francisco y Benedicto XVI nos enseñan que esta es la manera para una verdadera renovación social. Debemos cambiar la manera de mirar al mundo. Debemos cambiar la manera de mirar la creación y a Dios. Conocemos su mirada amable, llena de amor. Debemos mirar al amor viendo la bondad y la belleza que están en el mundo. Debemos hacerlo para proteger, para salvaguardar la creación de Dios. En un ensayo vemos cómo existen momentos que pueden dejarnos parados entre el pensamiento y la acción. Esto es lo que debemos hacer, es superar este estancamiento y la doctrina y la enseñanza social católica nos indica el camino, nos indica lo que debemos hacer, nos da el valor de elegir la vida en lugar de la muerte, la unidad en lugar de la fractura, la fragmentación. Necesitamos esta contemplación. El mundo lo merece, todos lo merecemos. Les agradezco una vez más su iniciativa. Simon Goff, who has been working at the University of Innsbruck and Edinburgh, and he has also a PhD at the University of Oxford. Is Associate Professor of Fundamental Theology at the Catholic University in Austria, visiting research fellow at the Oxford University, has participated in many investigation projects with European funding and also with the King's College in London, the University of Berlin, and is now working at a project on alternative concepts of God and the problems of non-conceived alternatives. Simon, you have the floor. Su Eminencia, señoras y señores, es un honor para mí recibir este premio y les expreso mi más sentido agradecimiento. El premio Razón Abierta. Quiero agradecer la institución Razón Abierta y la Universidad Francisco de Vitoria y por supuesto la Fundación Vaticana Ratzinger-Benedicto XVI que decidieron entregarme este premio. Es un símbolo de la importancia del diálogo entre teología y ciencias particulares. En el libro Reframing Providence, lo que intento hacer es crear un nuevo marco, enmarcar de manera distinta la providencia y la acción divina. En el libro me centro sobre todo en tres interrogantes. ¿Qué pasaría si moldeáramos la providencia en la acción humana? Lo que yo argumento en mi libro es que si reenmarcamos nuestra perspectiva, podemos fomentar el diálogo entre teología, filosofía y otras ciencias. Y luego, lo que también abordo en mi libro es que debemos creer en la acción divina y esta debe ser reconsiderada, digamos. El libro ofrece una perspectiva que sugiere que los seres humanos pueden evolucionar. No se necesita la evolución de los seres humanos pueden evolucionar al mismo tiempo. Una vez más, quiero expresar mi agradecimiento a los organizadores por entregarme el premio Razón Abierta. Lo que entiendo es que esto es un llamado para seguir ensanchando la razón en mis trabajos futuros. Así que gracias una vez más por entregarme este premio tan importante.
In the teaching category, now I would like to present to you Juan Serrano and Carola Diaz de Lope Diaz. Juan Serrano is the academic director of the Project University Leadership School. He has studied theology and religion and has then received a scholarship for his PhD at the University Francisco de Vitoria, where he wrote his PhD thesis in 2017. He is a research assistant professor of humanities at the San Francisco de Vitoria University and teaching social psychology, social responsibility, and introduction to theology in the Faculty of Theology and Communication, and he also teaches university leaderships at the University Leadership School. Carola de Lope Diaz is the executive director of the University Leadership School. He also is a senior architect for the Polytechnic University in Madrid, and she is specialized in social housing construction. She has moved to Australia, and she has studied in very important architectural firms. Back in Madrid, she is now about to discuss her PhD thesis. She is also a professor of the Faculty of Communication at the Francisco uh, University. Eminence, Father Lombardi, academic authorities, friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, we are extremely happy, extremely thankful to be here, and we are definitely aware that today, Carola and we are here to represent a bigger team. We know that our teams are on the paper, but we are representing a wider team, and joy is something we want to share. On July 5th, it was a Wednesday, and we were listening to an integral um, identity conference in our university. I was very carefully listening to the conference, and Carola was also part of the conference, and she was there besides Professor Martin. And I see Carola getting out of the room, and then 5 minutes later, she is back with a super wide smile, and I look at her and I try to understand what's going on. I look at my phone and I see that Danielle had sent me a missed call, and she was smiling because she just received a call knowing that we had won this award, uh, the award that we are receiving today. But we were so happy because there was a big discrepancy between our easy yes that we gave at the beginning when they asked us whether we wanted to participate in this context, and the yes that we were told when they told us that we were given and awarded this prize. It is extremely beautiful to be part of this occasion today, to be part of the University Leadership School, and to be part of the university world. Professor Prades was also my professor back in the time, and he was talking about Benedict XVI and the speech he gave at the Bernardines um, College, and he was talking about God and the shape of God back then. And I remember that hearing this speech was extremely important for me, and it accompanied me throughout my um, university career. We are extremely and deeply thankful for this. And now it's my turn to thank you all. It's my turn to give you names for all of the people who work with us. Right now, we wanted to thank the Ratzinger Foundation for organizing this, thanks to the collaboration with the Francisco de Vitoria University. It is a great network, a great grid of people who are cooperating towards reaching expanded reason. And this is a beautiful field in which ourselves and our students love working. We also wanted to uh, thank the University Francisco de Vitoria. It is our home, it is our nest. We also want to thank all of those people who have been participating to this project that has been going on for 15 years. We also wanted to thank Santander Bank for their support and all of the people who has helped us, taught us, and supported us. We are here also thanks to them. We want to thank the whole team. Thank you. As I said before, and as Juan said before, this is not a personal prize for us. It is an award to the whole team. Thank you to everybody who helped us, and thanks to our families as well. Families who have went through sleepless nights, nights without us. Paula and Rafa, my husband, his wife, also had to stand a lot. So thank you. It was possible thanks to you as well. And now, still in the teaching category, Father Giuseppe Tanzellaniti and Stefano Oliva, who are the director and project manager of the DISF Research Center, the Interdisciplinary Encyclopedia of Religion and Science. Professor Tanzellaniti has studied astronomy at the university in Bologna and dogma at the Santa Cruz University in Rome. He has also held many important and relevant charges in Rome and Turin. He is also the director of other projects and researches that show eloquently the relationship between science and faith. He is now the ordinary um, professor at the University of the Holy Cross and an academia member of the Vatican Observatory. Professor Oliva, he's an associate professor of the aesthetics department of the Niccolò Cusano University, and he also works and cooperates for the University of the Holy Cross. He also cooperates as a consultant of the Treccani Institute of the Italian Language Encyclopedia. He is a member of the Commission of the Italian Society of Aesthetics and the Italian Society of the Philosophy of Language. Thank you.
I'm going to speak Spanish because, as far as I understand, most people here today are English speakers. I'd like to thank His Eminence Cardinal Ladaria, Father Lombardi, and also Daniel Sada, rector of the University Francisco de Vitoria, that has sponsored this award. This is a team work, of course. We cannot create a digital platform that has 10,000 pages, 1 million visits per year alone. Of course, we have to work in a team. And as we are in Rome, it was very easy to ask my colleague to come here, my colleagues to come here, and they are actually here with me, with us. So the Italian Episcopal Conference is here represented by the director of the University Department, Education and Culture. that has sponsored and supported this project with intelligence, and as for many years that's been supporting this website. And of course the Pontifical University of the Holy Cross, where our investigation center is established. We have an interdisciplinary documentation center that focuses, of course, on science and faith, and Professor Davide Cito is here as well with us. The group, the team is led by Michele Crudele. Then we have our webmaster, Giuseppe Murati, and also other colleagues, Dr. Giulia Capasso, our editors, one of our editors, together with Costanza Murgia, who is there. I would like to thank also all the authors who wrote these pages, who drafted these pages, who made this platform possible. They worked with us in building this web page. Just a couple of remarks, if you allow me. First, we are speaking about expanded reason, and as I always understood the idea of expanded reason as something that moves in two directions: science and philosophy towards theology, but also the other way around, theology towards philosophy and sciences. Throughout the years, I don't know if successfully or not, I've tried at least to promote a view of theology that could use human sciences and natural sciences as sources for investigation and as sources to have a more in-depth knowledge of theological matters. So this connection is, in my opinion, extremely important. And also in Joseph Ratzinger's magisterium, this idea of theology that could be open to other form of knowledge. This is the same that Thomas Aquinas did. Secondly, what I would like to say is that we have been working with young people, and for us this is somewhat a novelty, because this investigation center has been working for 20 years. We are based at a university. We have also a school. We have postdoc programs. So why did we decide to create a tool addressed to students, adolescents, and teachers, students of secondary school students and teachers? Well, because we know that a person realizes that the vision that they have of the world can collide, can crash with the results of scientific knowledge. And the age when this happens is not 18 years, 25 years old, or 30 years old. It's when they are aged from 14 to 16. So we have dedicated many years working with university students and young researchers, but there's something missing. There is a huge part that is that we were unable to catch so far. So we have decided to plan something that could help high school teachers present or address interdisciplinary topics such as positivism, enlightenment, Galileo, the origin of life, the origin of the world, the challenges of artificial intelligence, the most important questions when it comes to the respect for life. So very current topics as well. So we decided to create this tool to allow people working at secondary school to address all of these topics with focusing on the interdisciplinarity of these topics, so that a teacher of one discipline has to open to other disciplines to build this, to, to, to promote the growth of young people. So this is all I wanted to say. Thank you very much for giving us this award. As I said, this is has been a teamwork. And here with me, you have there's Stefano Oliva, who has coordinated the project. I just would like to add a few words in Italian. I would like to thank the organizers, and we are very grateful for this award that helps us, that motivates us, because it encourages us to keep following this path. The idea that inspired our work, our project, is that teaching means to serve young people, uh, so as to give them what we have learned so far, and to enable them to use this knowledge. So we have accepted the challenge of the web, and create a tool, an online tool, a digital tool, because the other idea that inspired our work is that a Christian inspired culture has to raise the young men and women of our time, and we shouldn't fear these new tools.
We not only have to be there with good idea, but also with good content. And finally, let me thank Professor Tanzella-Nitti, because this project, this prize, is very long-lived, and we have been doing this for 20 years. The Interdisciplinary Church Center for Science and Faith has been working for 20 years, and thank you, Professor Tanzella-Nitti, because we owe it to you. We also have an honorable mention for Elizabeth Newman. She has a PhD at the university where she now is studying at the Baptist History and Thought. She has been professor of theology, and in Richmond, Virginia, she also is head of the commission for the World Baptist Alliance, and she is also director for the Theological Dialogue of the Pontifical Council.
Estimados colegas, un agradecimiento especial a la Universidad Francisco de Vitoria y la Fundación Ratzinger. Es un honor realmente para mí recibir este premio. El título de mi libro es Divine Abundance. Estoy aquí con ustedes, es realmente un honor. Estoy muy agradecida. Bueno, quiero empezar diciendo que a mí me contrataron cuando terminé mi doctorado hace 30 años por una institución católica, y aunque yo no soy católica, soy baptista, ellos se asumieron el riesgo de contratarme, y yo, trabajando allí, empecé a ver las dificultades y retos de la educación secundaria, de las universidades, de las instituciones académicas en general, a pesar de su fe. Un en una de las reuniones de mi departamento, de mi facultad, uno de mis nuevos colegas preguntó si alguien entre nosotros enseñaba como si Dios realmente existe. Y mi libro es realmente un intento de contestar a esa vieja pregunta, a ese interrogante. En las universidades, en las instituciones académicas, puede haber un divorcio, por así decirlo, entre fe y conocimiento. La fe está en una esfera, pero se ve separada de la vida académica, de la vida científica. Y bueno, Joseph Ratzinger-Benedicto XVI me inspiró realmente a lo largo de todo su magisterio. Y es un placer para mí que me den este honor, que me entreguen este honor los católicos. Y estoy realmente agradecida a mi familia. Mis padres son cristianos. eh, Iba a la iglesia con ellos, iba a misa con ellos y ellos me impulsaron a pensar en la fe y a preguntarme cosas. Y un agradecimiento también especial a mi marido, a mi esposo y a todos ustedes, por supuesto. Muchísimas gracias.
Now, Cardinal Lodaria, the floor is yours for some conclusions. We are asked today to be praying for peace. This is why we have given all of you this page. You have a little page with a prayer pronounced by Pope John Paul II in Hiroshima, Japan. Let us pray together, thinking about the problems with peace today. May the Lord help us and help the leaders in the world to really achieve world peace for everybody. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Let's read together in Spanish. Let's ask the Lord to give peace to all of us and all of our sons. Thank you, Father. Thank you here to the representative rector of the University Francisco de Vitoria, and may the Lord bestow upon us peace to all of us. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Again, an applause to our awardees. This applause signals the end of the award ceremony. There is a little cocktail ceremony now, but please don't leave. There is a picture moment before we all leave, and everybody please don't go. We have a picture first. professors stay, everybody stay. Thank you.